Hey everyone, Answer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I wanted to talk a bit about another stereotype, as I've done before, and this is perhaps one that everyone has come across but barely pays attention to, dismisses it. And it is actually part of the reason why that stereotype exists, I believe, which is the stereotype of the dumb caveman. You know the type, big and burly, but dumb as a block. Has always this clumsy huge club on his shoulder, drags you by the hair if he wants you to be somewhere, and they speak in gestures and shouts and growls, right? And this stereotype is always attached to the ancestors of a certain people. I leave it up to you to guess which one. Whereas the ancestors from around the same era of other peoples are depicted as more noble and cunning and sophisticated in their primitive ways. Isn't that interesting? I wonder why they do that. I have a strong idea that it's intentional, so that certain people isn't going to look into its own ancestry. It's going to say, "Ooh, I want to stay away from that. Do I come from that? Ugh, no, I don't want to think about it." And what I figured about that is, yeah, it's totally coincidence, of course. Absolutely. This wasn't intentional, right? But what I want to go with this is, I suppose, to give a thought exercise in regards to this stereotype. Traits are inherited, right? Your intelligence, your looks, your empathy, your naivety, your craftiness. That is always accumulated across generations and passed on to, the next generations that follow after the former ones. And we have archaeological findings and writings that suggest that certain people who are supposed to come from these dumb brutes that are good for nothing, except maybe bashing a deer in the head or something, somehow. That the evolutionary lineage basically hints at dumb brutes, suddenly sophisticated empires, craft, art, just like that, out of the blue. It's a bit strange, isn't it? No? So we have this stereotype, it's like 2 steps removed from still dangling from tree trunks, from branches of trees, and they jumped right into medieval armor, just like that. I find that a bit questionable myself. And it lends me to think that perhaps, yeah, indeed, as I already called it, this caveman stuff is just a stereotype, and it's not a true representation. There is also something to be said that certain people, who are accused of using to have lived in caves, um, why would it be caves? Sure, it might have definitely happened that they sought shelter in such, during bad weather, and they were they were traveling or something. They figured, oh, let's hide here until it stops hailing, or something like that. But then, to actually presume that this cave living was a thing, which is a possibility in certain occasions, I like actually to think that the same people is more more about temperate forests as their native habitat. You know, they like greenery, they like the sun, they like to dig with their hands in the soil, really. They like to plant things, they like to see things grow. Maybe aside the odd mushroom or whatever, you don't find that in caves. So, yeah. Interesting, no? Something to think about, something to look into if you're a fan of history. If you want to know a bit more about that certain people, you know, the amount of non-truths that have been said, and that, you know, with a bit of creativity, with looking at that people how they are today, you actually may make conclusions that are closer to home. No? I think so. Maybe worth doing. Just a thought. And that's really all I have to say for now. Yeah, I know, it's not much. But there is no point in me ranting on for no reason either, right? It's something that came to mind. Mm. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. And as for those other people's, their ancestors who were so sophisticated and brilliant and what have you, which is no doubt the case, you may at the same time look into them as well. Hmm? See what they actually were like and what have you. And no doubt you will find all of these stereotypes and what have you to be the case. Certainly. And don't question it if certain archaeological finds are melted down or, you know, hidden away, old texts that are stashed somewhere that no regular man or woman is able to find anywhere, not even on the internet. That's all conspiracy, right? That's not happening. I mean, who would believe that there are groups out there who may actually create these stereotypes and hide all this stuff or destroy it because they maybe do not have that good of the not such good intentions with that certain people, and they try to take away their sense of identity from them, so they're mm, more softer targets for whatever it's going to be, right? Whatever they want them to be soft targets for. Oh yeah. It's yeah, maybe something to think about. I'm sure it's all me just being overthinking stuff. And I'm gonna keep it there. With all of that said, Hans is going to sign off. You all have a good one. Bye bye.